I did not plan to disappear. It just happened. One morning I woke up and realized no one was looking for me anymore. My name is Ava. At least it used to be. I was 36 when my life ended. Not because I died, but because everything I believed in was taken from me quietly. People think revenge starts with anger, but mine started with silence. I used to believe love was safety, that marriage was partnership, that loyalty meant protection. I was wrong. I met him when I was young and hopeful. The kind of woman who smiled at strangers. The kind who believed hard work and honesty were enough. He was charming. American charming. The kind that makes you feel chosen. He said I was different. He said I was his peace. He said I saved him. I built my life around those words. I supported his career, moved cities for him, left my job when he asked, trusted his decisions without question. I cooked his meals, organized his life, smiled at his colleagues, defended him when people warned me. They said he was ambitious. They said men like him climb using others. I laughed because I was his wife. What they did not see was how slowly he erased me. It started small. A comment about my clothes, a joke about my intelligence, a sigh when I spoke too much. Then it became routine. Decisions made without me, plans changed without warning, money controlled without discussion. Love became conditional. Affection became rare. Respect disappeared. Still I stayed, because women like me are taught endurance, not escape. Then came the night everything broke. I remember the smell of rain, the sound of my phone vibrating, the feeling in my chest before I even unlocked the screen. It was not a message for me. It was a message about me. Photos, words, proof. He had another life, another woman, another future, and everyone knew, except me. When I confronted him, he did not deny it. He did not apologize. He looked relieved. He said he was unhappy. He said I changed. He said he deserved more. As if love was a reward system. As if loyalty expired. He filed for divorce the next week. Not me. He hired lawyers. Powerful ones. Expensive ones. He froze accounts. Blocked access. Controlled the narrative. I became the unstable wife. The emotional burden. The obstacle. Friends stopped calling. Family grew uncomfortable. People chose sides. Not mine. I lost my home, my savings, my identity. I moved into a small apartment with bare walls. No furniture. No photos. No memories. At night I sat on the floor and listened to my own breathing, just to prove I was still alive. The world kept moving. His world flourished. He married her. The younger version, the quieter version, the one who never asked questions. They posted smiles online, vacations, celebrations. I watched in silence. Something inside me hardened. Not hatred, not rage, clarity. I stopped crying, stopped explaining, stopped asking why. I started observing. People underestimate women who go quiet. They think silence means surrender. It does not. Silence is preparation. I took notes, read documents, studied patterns, learned laws. One rebuilt myself slowly, not visibly. I worked nights, took courses, made connections. No one noticed because no one was looking. He thought I was broken, defeated, finished. That was his mistake. Because women like me, when stripped of everything, discover something dangerous. Nothing left to lose. And this is where my real story begins. Not with tears, but with intention. Not with love, but with truth. He took my past, so I decided to take my power. And he never saw it coming. Rebuilding does not look like movies. There is no background music, no dramatic sunrise. There is only discipline. I woke up before dawn every day. Not because I was motivated, but because pain does not let you sleep. I stopped scrolling, stopped checking his life, stopped comparing. I deleted old photos, burned letters, changed my name back. Ava was gone. I became someone quieter. I took a job no one respected. Late nights, cold offices, harsh lighting, but it paid cash, and cash meant freedom. I learned how money moves, how businesses hide numbers, how powerful men protect themselves. I listened more than I spoke. People reveal everything when they think you are weak. I made myself invisible, and that was the safest place to be. While he climbed higher, I studied deeper. I learned contracts, non-disclosures, tax shelters, legal loopholes. I understood something important. Men like him do not fall because of emotion. They fall because of exposure. I volunteered, joined boards, attended events, not as myself, but as a shadow. I smiled politely, asked harmless questions, collected names. I kept journals, dates, times, patterns. I watched his confidence grow, his arrogance expand. He spoke at conferences, gave interviews, talked about integrity. I almost laughed because I knew the truth, and truth is patient. The woman he married, she tried to replace me. She wore my colors, lived in my house, hosted dinners with my recipes. But insecurity has a sound, and I heard it. She watched me too, from a distance, from fake profiles. She wanted to know why I never reacted. Because reacting is emotional. Planning is strategic. Years passed. People forgot me. Exactly as I wanted. Then the opportunity appeared. Quiet, unexpected. A whistleblower, a junior employee. Someone scared. They contacted the wrong person. Me. They did not know who I was to him. They only knew I listened. Documents followed. Emails, records, the kind that destroy careers. I did not rush. I verified, cross-checked, waited. Revenge is not speed. It is timing. I built alliances, journalists, regulators, lawyers. I never told my story. I just presented facts. Facts do not need sympathy. When the investigation started, he laughed. He always laughed at rumors. But laughter fades when subpoenas arrive. I watched from afar. No satisfaction. No smile. Just stillness. Because this was not about hurting him. It was about balance. And balance always demands payment. His image cracked. Sponsors stepped back. Friends disappeared. The same way they disappeared from me. Funny how circles close. The woman beside him panicked, asked questions, doubted, trust evaporated, power isolates, and he was finally alone. Still, I was not done. Because real revenge is not destruction. It is transformation. And what I was becoming terrified him more than any scandal. The world thinks downfall is loud. Headlines, courtrooms, public shame. But his downfall was quiet. It started the day people stopped answering his calls. Men like him survive on access, on influence, on being needed. When that disappears, so do they. Investigations dragged on. Not fast, not dramatic, slow, precise, exhausting. Every document I released was clean, verified, undeniable. No lies, no exaggeration, just truth. And truth is heavy. His company froze projects. Partners distanced themselves. Boards asked questions. Questions he could not charm away. The man who once controlled rooms now waited outside them. He aged fast. Stress does that. The woman beside him, she tried to hold on. But love that begins in betrayal ends the same way. She left, quietly, with a lawyer. The house went empty, just like mine once did. I did not celebrate. I did not post. I did not speak. I watched. Because revenge that needs applause is not revenge. It is insecurity. Then came the moment he finally remembered me. He reached out. An email. Short. Careful. He said he wanted closure. Closure is a word people use when they want forgiveness without accountability. I did not reply. Weeks later, another message. He said he never meant to hurt me. That life got complicated. That he was sorry. Sorry is easy. Repair is not. I waited. When he was at his lowest. When the media noise peaked. When the walls closed in. That is when I stepped forward. Not publicly. Privately. Through my attorney. No threats. No emotions. Just options. A settlement. Full transparency. Public accountability. He had no leverage. He signed. Everything he once took from me. Returned. With interest. Financial security. Professional rehabilitation. My name cleared. But the most powerful part was not money. It was acknowledgement. In legal documents. In official records. He admitted the truth. That he betrayed. That he manipulated. That he lied. Men fear records. Because records outlive reputations. When it was over, he asked to see me. One last time. I said yes. We met in a neutral space. Bright, public, safe. He looked smaller. Not physically, but spiritually. He searched my face. For anger. For tears. He found neither. He asked who I had become. I told him. Someone you cannot erase. That was the first time. He truly saw me. Not as support. Not as background. But as consequence. And that is when he broke. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just a quiet collapse of everything he believed himself to be. I walked away. No final words. No closure given. Because closure is a gift. And not everyone deserves it. After everything ended, I expected relief, victory, some kind of emotional release. It did not come. What came instead was silence, a deeper kind, the kind that asks who you are when the war is over. For a long time, my identity was pain, then preparation, then purpose. When all of that dissolved, I had to face myself. Not the woman he broke. Not the woman who planned. Just me. I moved again. Not to escape, but to choose. A small place. Near water. Where mornings were quiet. And no one knew my history. I furnished slowly. One chair. One plant. One window at a time. Healing is not dramatic. It is repetitive. I learned to sit with stillness. Without reaching for distraction. Some nights the memories returned. Not of him, but of myself. The woman I abandoned to survive. I forgave her. Forgiveness is not for the person who hurt you. It is for the part of you still bleeding. I started speaking. Not about revenge, but about resilience. Women listened. They did not ask how to destroy men. They asked how to rebuild themselves. That is when I understood. My story was never about him. It was about power. How it is taken. How it is reclaimed. I stopped hiding my name. Eva returned. Not the old one. The new one. Whole. Unapologetic. And afraid. Sometimes I still see him in articles. Older. Quieter. Less certain. He does not look at the camera anymore. I feel nothing. Indifference is the final victory. If you are listening to this and you feel erased, silenced, broken, remember this. You do not need to scream. You do not need to explain. You need to prepare, to learn, to choose yourself, because the most terrifying thing to someone who tried to destroy you is not your anger. It is your evolution. And that is the revenge that lasts.